Eddie Hearn says, I've been around the world very aggressively. I come in peace to Australia. Trust this guy? Let's see.
Push the weight and now flex. The live is one in the six. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Well. Look at this picture. Filtered, top of some building. They're making sure you see the watch on his left wrist. Pose looks very uncomfortable. Made sure the tie is just right. And you look at this, if you didn't know who he is, a lot of people would trust this guy. But I've done more than enough videos about this guy. And I actually clowned him fairly recently because I had to remind some idiots that this guy is a liar. So, boxing scene, link will be in the description. Hearn says, I've been around the world very aggressively. I come in peace to Australia. Well, what is he saying? This is written by Jake Donovan, one of the few boxing journalists that I trust. Salute to Jake Donovan. Follow him on Twitter. Eddie Hearn immediately cautioned against an Australian takeover. Wow, the first sentence. Now, why is that being said? Again, salute to Jake Donovan. Now, why is he saying that? For those of you that are playing ignorant or just got here, the reason why real American supporters of boxing do not like Eddie Hearn is, on top of being a liar, he was really feeling himself when he came to try and do business in America, which is why he's been blackballed for the most part. Blackballed. Put the racism stuff aside. Bob Arum has made it so that this guy can't even breathe in Las Vegas. Nobody wants to work with him because of his mouth. Do your homework on this guy. Australian takeover. Why would Jake Donovan use that word takeover? Eddie Hearn signed a alleged $1 billion deal with DAZN. Y'all remember that? When I was on Facebook, I was a part of a couple of boxing groups, and one morning I get on there and I hear, I'm reading everyone, oh my God, Eddie Hearn, $1 billion. And I'm like, what is this? You didn't know? No. Oh, he's getting funding from a billionaire Russian, which is a story within itself. I'm like, okay. He's going to take over American boxing. I'm like, okay. And the last thing they said, the third thing they said, he's going to buy all the PBC fighters. And all I asked was, I said, okay, what's the fascination with him buying up all the PBC fighters? Why all the focus on the PBC fighters when y'all don't like the PBC? What was that about? But moving on, he's coming with this application called DAZN. And I'm like, okay, what is that? It's an app you can purchase on your tablet, on your phone, on your TV, your smart TV. I'm like, okay. What does it do? You can watch boxing 24 hours a day. And I'm like, outside of myself and maybe two other people I know personally in my personal life, American fans don't care about boxing like that. So what are you talking about? He's going to provide what? Us an app? Okay, let's say I buy the app. Guess what? There's not that much boxing in the world that I'm going to watch all day. I'm not going to buy an app. I'm not going to pay, what do they want? $10 a month just to watch fights from all around the world. I really don't care about it like that I could sit up and just watch it all day because I have a job in real life. I got shit to do. So I was saying, wait, I'm confused. Big fights, we're gonna have to just pay $10 as opposed to paying $50 on a pay-per-view. Is that the marketing scheme? No, you're getting access to this fight, that fight, and I don't want to see Edgar Houlihan from Scotland fight Scott Pelvis from Ireland. Who are those guys? Stop. I don't know. Don't care. So if I don't care and I'm a legitimate boxing supporter, how far is this boxing app? How far is this DAZN app going to go in America? That's what I asked. And then I was told to shut up. Okay. He got $1 billion. He got money to burn. And AJ's coming and he's a worldwide superstar. Remember all of that stuff? The transatlantic deal. You remember all of this? You remember that? Transatlantic deal. And I'm listening to the language. And then I'm seeing a video of this guy. He's talking, he's trash talking. He got shades on. And I'm like, America's supposed to gravitate towards him? And what I recall saying in those two groups that I was in, I said, listen, this isn't going to work because I am 100% convinced that he does not understand the American market. He's using words like transatlantic deal. You just killed the black audience right there. You just destroyed our trust. But there was a few lingering around because not that they liked Eddie, but they hated Deontay Wilder. And this guy talked trash about Wilder because he owned AJ. And at one point, Undisputed was up to them. And we all know the story with that. Okay? So the first sentence in this article, caution against Australian takeover. Takeover, that's what he's talking about because there was supposed to be an American takeover. And what we said was, it ain't going to work. This thing is going to fold because he doesn't understand the market. And it'll be over with. Drew, you're just hating on him. I said, no, because here's the flip side. If he comes with $1 billion, and let's say he buys up all these fighters and we start getting the fights that we want, then that's a good thing for boxing. But I don't trust this guy because I'm watching how he's moving Anthony Joshua right now. So we'll see what happens. And what happened? I did a video about that. DAZN failing here. Over. DAZN boxing. Didn't happen. So now he's in Australia. You goofed off in America, now you're in Australia. So it says the iconic promoter proudly announced the launch of his Matchroom Boxing's debut effort Down Under, with their first show to set to take place in September at a location to be determined in Australia. The maiden voyage will feature several of the company's rostered fighters, including an all-Aussie main event between unbeaten rising contenders Liam Paro and Brock Jarvis. I'm sure people in America are rushing to see that, but I guess there's a market in Australia. Whatever, what do I know? Matchroom has a big global vision for the sport. Hearn noted during Friday's press conference in Brisbane. We're already in many territories around the world, the UK, of course, being our prime market, the US as well, Mexico, Italy, Spain, the Middle East. Now, you notice he's saying Matchroom. Why? Because there's no more DAZN. Okay? So maybe he's learned something. Australia is a market we've been looking at very closely, a market that is very important to us. I have been around the world very aggressively. I come in peace to Australia because they already know what kind of person he is. He's fresh off an ass whooping in America. Okay? And his cash cow got his ass beat by Usyk. So he's been taking L's. All right? You fucked off in America, and AJ took an L, and, hopefully he gets it together in this rematch. We'll see. I'm saying hopefully for him. I've had a great time this week, but it's going to be an important market. The show will also feature undefeated heavyweight prospect Dempsey McKean in a setup fight. All right, it's for the Commonwealth title. Whatever. He goes on to say, I've been watching the great work done by great promoters down here, noted Hearn. I'm really impressed by their shows and more so by the talent pool. Okay. The link will be in the description. You read this. But he's coming to Australia humble, which is how he should have came to the American market before he, convinced that alleged Russian billionaire to give him a bag and say, just let me do it. First of all, the Russians should have checked the fruit on the tree and say, can you do this? Are you capable? Because all these PBC haters kept telling me in these Facebook groups I said, this ain't gonna work. They said, well, he has an unlimited bag. He has money to burn. I said, that's not how business people work. Billionaires usually want to keep their money. They take risks. That's cool. But they don't say, oh, I'm gonna throw $500 million in that box, and then if I lose it, so what? No, they want an ROI, a return on their investment. And they trusted Eddie, and he failed. And I'm sure they weren't just sitting there shrugging their shoulders like, oh, well, we tried. No, I'm sure that there was some hardcore meetings they had that Eddie had to leave. He left those meetings sweating in flush red, like, oh, man. But those business people, one thing that they did say in those DAZN offices was, man, we should have worked with somebody else. We trusted this guy. You see this guy sitting in the chair? Looks like a face you can trust. But check the resume. He's done some good things. He may have done some great things. But DAZN failed because of him. You coming in here with shades on, talking about some guy from Alabama got $50 million. Then somehow DAZN, he ends up down at the DAZN office. And they goofed up the meeting and they had to apologize to Deontay. That guy from Alabama. They had to say sorry. That's the story. Deontay ain't ducked no $100 million. Did they have the bread? Yes. But were they coming correct with the business? No. Eddie Hearn was supposed to solidify that. Want me to keep going? Fine. Him and Boo Boo Andre have to sever ties. Why? Andre signed to DAZN. He got a bag. Whoop-de-doo. But why did he go to DAZN? Because there was a Canelo fight there. But Canelo does what he wants to do. So that's another fight that Eddie Hearn couldn't solidify for them. Okay? Do I need to get on Devin Haney in that situation? Where's Devin Haney? What did Devin Haney have to do to get the Kambosos fight? What did he have to do? Sign with Top Rank. Eddie couldn't get anything done over here. He had conversations with the Charlos. Didn't happen. Tried to get at AB, Adrian Broner. Didn't happen. He even tried to sign Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury laughed at him and put the goddamn email out. He couldn't just say no. No, he put out the whole email. So please, of course, wherever you go now, you got to be humble. Why do you think he said, I come in peace? Because whoever he has to deal with down there, they had their antennas is up. What, Eddie wants to do business over here, and they're looking at him. And he has to walk into the room saying, I come in peace. Yeah, because we know your bullshit, Eddie. We know. So let's see what happens in Australia. Is this guy really good at what he does? If fucking up what he does, if fucking up is what he does, then that's what it is. Huh. So, I'll keep my eye on this. I guess this is news. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Bronx on deck. Move!